Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Meena every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share with friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Uh, I'd like to mention that yesterday's program, the session where we discussed the Dubai or UAE's golden visa, received a lot of response, with a lot of people curious about what's happening and why these Bollywood characters are running like bees to honey to a honeycomb, and see what's behind it. So today I'm just waiting for Lalit G to join us. We discuss the violence that's happening in Jahangir Puri, and also how a temple, a 300-year-old temple. Yes, Lalit Ji is just joined, so let me just add him. One second. Welcome, Lalit Ji. So nice to have you on our show.
Thank you. Namaskar, everybody, all of you.
Yeah. In fact, Jahangir Ji, see, in Lalit Ji, we've been receiving a lot of good comments about your program. See, because they say that you speak so well that a lot of, they didn't have this much knowledge before. And when you speak, things become much more clearer. Thank you. Yeah. So, Lalitji, there are three or four incidents that I'd like to talk about, which really has people especially Hindus in India, totally confused, and whether these are all spontaneous events or whether these are pre-planned events where everything is put into place before these attacks happen. This is what we wanted to discuss today. So the first point is Rajasthan, the temple demolition in Alwar, where a 300-year-old Shiva temple was raised in Alwar, and it was shocking to see. Not only this, but the bulldozers also destroyed a lot of houses in this area. Around 85 Hindus' houses and shops were also bulldozed. So this is one incident. We were shocked to see the way they were drilling, the Lord Shiva's, the linga inside the temple. The second incident is the attack on the Hanuman Jayanti Shobha Yatra in Jahangir Puri, which was planned a week in advance by mastermind Ansar Sheikh. He had convened a meeting with 30 people, including a few juveniles, at Kushal Chowk in Jahangir Puri a week before the attack, as per the reports. Okay, and then the third thing is what is happening in Maharashtra. Apparently, BJP leader Mohit Kamboj was returning from a wedding, and he was attacked by Shiv Sena goons who tried to pull him out of his car and break the glass and try to, assault him. And somehow, I don't know how, with some presence of mind, he escaped. I don't know what's happening there. And this is also happening in the midst of other, activity about the Hanuman Chalisa. There is also, the area is currently witnessing a gathering of hundreds of Shiv Sainiks to thwart an attempt by independent Lok Sabha Navneet Rana, the MP, and her MLA husband Ravi Rana to recite the Hanuman Chalisa on Saturday morning. So what's happening here? The viewers are confused as to whether this is all spontaneous or whether this is all pre-planned with a very devious design behind it.
Nothing is spontaneous when it comes to targeting Hindu faith.
Yes.
It's part of an agenda. I repeat, yesterday I was on a platform. The people spoke so high, so big, this is what's happening to us, what we should be doing, we're in danger. Nobody used the word. I had to intervene. I said, I am not hearing. Everybody was complaining, lamenting, but using that kind of flowery language. But everybody was hesitant to speak what they have on hand. No one spoke that Hindus are the victim. No one spoke about the pan-Islamism inspired Fisiperesness that's growing in India. No one spoke about jihad. No one spoke about Kashmir jihad that has been bleeding India for 30 years, now 32 years. It saw Kashmiri Hindus genocide 32 years ago. So no one speaks about Ghazwa-e Hind. And as long as you don't know, Not that they don't know, we know it, but we are not able to identify and call it out. What is what's your adversary? How your adversary is planning, going as per the plan, and no, you say Ghazwa is 1,000 years old, it's my myth and all that, but they don't realize it's on. As I say, I always say, what is being done in the name of faith by your adversary, which is inspired by Ghazwa-e-Hind war that began 1,000 years ago. Please remember, all of you, that's alive and kicking. And its major achievement and success was when India was divided, partitioned. We suffered bloody partition in the name of two-nation theory, which was nothing other than what began 1,000 years ago when Sindh was captured by Muhammad bin Qasim. We are trying to ignore it. We want to sound politically correct, but in Pakistan, they teach their children that the first citizen of Pakistan is Muhammad bin Qasim. For them, it's not a myth. It's not a myth for them. And you have people here, you have people who do not want to acknowledge, you are a Hindu, why should your, under normal circumstances, why should your procession, a celebration be targeted? It's not a law and order problem. And it's not spontaneous. You do not collect stones on the terraces of your houses. You do not prepare and collect petrol bombs in anticipation of a procession going by your side, and then you may need to target it. This is not a law and problem. Law and order, normal citizen would think twice before even having a petrol bomb at home. You're very cautious about even you're shifting your kitchen knife into your drawing room or your living room. You wouldn't like to see it on your dining table.
Exactly.
So when these guys are doing it, they are doing it's a pre-envisaged, pre-planned agenda. Let me also repeat, time is not a factor as far as Ghazwa-e-Hind is concerned. They're not bothered about whether it will take another 1,000 years to establish this Darul Islam in India, which is their target. When India-based, India-born Islamists say we don't have nothing to do with Pakistan. Pakistan, they start, disowning Pakistan. So they can't do that because you have to tell them Pakistanis did not fall from heaven. They didn't come from sky. They were Indians on the 14th of August, 1947. That they betrayed their motherland on 14th of August, 1947. And Pakistan was created in the name of Islam. Please say that. Whole world knows it. There are foreigners who speak and write that Hindu genocide is the longest ongoing genocide in the human history. But we don't want to realize it. So you have Jahangir Puri, and then suddenly you start, feeling triumphant. Then look, we have reacted. This is not a reaction I'm looking forward to. As I said, we don't have to resort to violence. This is my nation. This is my country. This is my Bharat Mata. This is what is reduced of the huge territory that once was Bharat. And today your civilization, Sanatan civilization, is restricted to this small bit of geopolitical space. And if you don't protect it, you're not protecting nation. I don't need to protect my nation. My army, my security forces, they are doing a good job. They are better than anybody in the world. They're civilization warriors, I say. They didn't become sepoys and jawans just because British army enrolled them in their cadre. We are historical warriors. We can fight bare feet and with bare hands, and we did it in Galwan. Followed every bit of the protocol that was signed between Rajiv Gandhi and the Chinese leaders that time, that we will not be using weapons, even if it comes to any kind of scuffle or any kind of skirmish across the border. We maintained that order. Yet, when it came to fighting, we fought bare feet and with bare hands. And would we give them a bloody nose? So I'm not worried about the national security as far as my external enemies are concerned. I'm worried about the snakes that we have been feeding for the past 70 years.
Absolutely.
You often hear this from our strategic affairs consultants, So India faces 1+1 plus half war, 2.5 war. And they attribute this half to the internal security threat. I've been saying for ages, it's not half anymore. It's one. maybe even more than 1+1, which is an external enemy. Is this dangerous many times more than that, because this is an internal enemy. You're not ready
Can
to
you,
acknowledge and
yeah,
accept it and recognize it.
Laliji, can you imagine? See, when a teacher, spoke something about a cartoon and his head was beheaded. And here, a temple, a Shivalinga is being drilled to pieces. Hindus are watching it, their hearts, they're crying. And they've done nothing. Can you imagine
And
if it had been reverse?
it's not just ordinary temple. You see, uh, you do see temples on the roadsides in a particular house
Yes,
somewhere. Many of them may be even constructed illegally without permission, but then that's there. That's there. But we have seen those being demolished when it comes to the city development programs and
yes,
all that. Nobody talks about it. There have been scores of temples dismantled and demolished many a times. Hindus don't react to that. But this, which is part of which is following the order, right? Your city decides, your elders decide that we have to beautify the city, we have to enlarge the street space and all that. Okay, it's understandable. You can shift, you would dismantle. I don't want to use the word dismantle. It's a place of worship. It has been allowed to be established there. Many people, temple is not just a structure. It's not just where you house an idol. It's
yeah,
the place. It becomes a temple when thousands and thousands of people, worshippers, go inside the premises, share their grief, share their happiness with the idol in front of it. And there's so much of positive energy that evolves over a period of time. That's when the temple starts vibrating with kind of energy that attracts people. So it's over a period of time that the temple becomes an attractive destination for the believers, the Hindus,
yeah,
the people who want, because you have to differentiate. A mosque is only a place of congregation.
yes,
Repeat, mosque is only a place of congregation, while a temple is a place of worship. And that is where you exchange your energies with the idols, your gods. And when you demolish that, you are not only dismantling that structure. If it was illegal, you allowed it to grow, evolve there, and then you suddenly decide to dismantle it. There's a in Hindi proper word for it,
yeah,
Murti Bhanjan.
mhm,
Dismantling of idols is also part of jihad.
yeah,
Is part of genocide.
yeah,
Where part of jihad means kafir's place of worship have to be dismantled. That becomes jihad, right? Idols have to be broken. That's becomes jihad. But for a Hindu believer, it's part of the genocide, because you're dismantling that place where somebody went, prayed to God for some wish, and it was fulfilled. That person again went to the temple, offered prasad there. Thank you, Bhagwan. Thank you, Shiva. Meri astha puri hogi. Mera what I asked for, I got it. Somebody went again. My wish is yet to be fulfilled. Right? Please do that, my God. So that
also
conversation.
also Lalaji, see, it is said by the our gurus, our great gurus, that the moment a deity is put in a place and it is worshipped, like you do all the rituals, then God is already present there. you know so they are actually removing everything that we believe, with all this demolition. And you're talking about a chief minister who is a Hindu.
That is the irony of it. Now, what's happening there? Again, I don't want to sound politically correct. What the guy has done, what the guy has done, he thought the how to win the confidence of the so-called Muslim herd, Muslims herd in Jahangirpuri in Delhi. So he tried to, one, impress his bosses in Delhi,
Yeah,
and also the Muslim electorate in Rajasthan. Look, I take the revenge. I'm a Hindu. But I'm not surprised about these Hindus. I think I don't know whether I have spoken on this platform. There's a term in genocide studies. It's called genocide. The victim, from the victim side, those who collaborate with the genocide, those people who execute genocide, they're called victim collaborators.
yeah,
There are copas. Like I said, Jews had copas in
yeah,
concentration camps. The Nazis used to employ a Jew only as the camp commander of that place, right? And then
absolutely,
he
yeah,
would think that he would survive this Holocaust,
yeah,
but and he would be sent last to the gallows. So they are called kopas. And when Israel was created, the government of Israel, they started a trial for kopas. They were Jews,
Yeah. Yeah.
but some of them were even they were declared, they were given even death sentences. But I don't think any kopa was executed. They said they are also victims of genocide because they were forced to do it.
Yeah.
That was in terms of kopa Jews, right? But
Yeah.
here you have history. Man Singh gave his sister to Akbar to please him because he wanted to remain in power.
Yeah.
And we have done it all true. We have done it all true. Akbar, we made a hero. Akbar did not say, I'm the hero. Is the Hindu historians, so-called Hindu historians, who made him the Akbar the Great. You would, Taj Mahal, till few years ago, Taj Mahal symbolized India's cultural, architectural, civilizational identity.
Yeah.
And what is the history of Taj Mahal?
Yeah.
And you saw other day this Lal Killa, day before yesterday, remembering Guru Tegh Bahadur. I call these Sikh gurus the holy gurus, right?
Yeah.
So what have we done in one stroke? I say I don't. I'm not tired of saying that. I want to have clones of Narendra Modi heading every department, every ministry, everywhere. I want him to be there. He has sent a message because as per the Ghazwa-e-Hind, Kashmir is a passage for them to reach ultimately Lal Killa in Delhi. So therefore, yesterday, Narendra Modi actually उन्होंने क्या किया हिंदी में बोलूंगा उन्होंने भगवाकरण किया लाल किले का. And mind it, those people who come on the television channels to glorify those barbarian Mughals, they say, oh, Mughals made this Lal Killa. Lal Killa was made by bonded Hindu laborers.
Absolutely.
Mughals did not come with stones and bricks from wherever they came from. They were looters, they were marauders, right? And they did not come with a piece of land, even from where they came from. And the money that was spent on making that was your jizya money.
Absolutely.
That was Hindus paid for that. So don't ever let them get away with this narrative, this Mughals belt, right? They were occupiers of this place. They were occupiers and they did what they wanted to do to establish Darul Islam in India, not to do anything for the Hindus of it, right? Day before yesterday, that history has been reversed. It's for me and you to understand and to carry forward the narrative. Now it's a guru's place. The execution of Guru Tegh Bahadur was ordered from that very Lal Killa. And today, we made that remarkable day we celebrated there in that premises. That I think this is what I call resurgence of Sanatan civilization in India. This has to be carried forward. And when you talk about the temple, 300 years old temple in Rajasthan, as I heard the other day on the television, a woman, she was not lamenting that the temple was broken. She was crying. मेरे शिवा को मेरे महादेव को तोड़ दिया.
Exactly. So emotional.
So and they were very emotionally, as I said, कि उसका I'm trying to explain that emotion, that disappointment. What was it? There I went, I prayed for the marriage of my son or daughter. In before that my children should study well, they should qualify for a particular examination, all that. And then I went and prayed for the couple to have a child. And then I also went and prayed when her husband or maybe her father was not keeping well, right? All these prayers were either fulfilled or they are still unaccomplished. And that woman was crying for that particular sentiment. And we don't talk about it.
Yeah. Also, Lalitji, see, without realizing it, Gaylord is, getting so many curses, not only from the people, but when you demolish an old temple like this, you have already got whatever bad has to come. See, I'm a very modern woman, but I will tell you one thing: if you demolish a temple, a lot more will come to you. You will have sleepless nights. Your whole family will suffer. This is all coming.
I'll tell you one thing: these secular liberals are immune to God's wrath. Otherwise, we would not have been suffering all these 1,000 years.
Absolutely.
And it's tribute to those godly men and women who fought that resistance war against Islamization of Kashmir, India for 1,000 years. I'm proud of them. I know Guru Tegh Bahadur, his sacrifice, his sheesh, it was a self-sacrifice for Hindus, for dharma, for Janeo. And there is a conversation also happening. The history is being written. Macaulay did not
Also,
only.
Lalitji, I wanted to ask you one question here. See, what's the problem if you consult someone and then say that, see, we will lift the whole, Shiva Linga and place it in a auspicious place, where we are not, the road can be built. Why not consultations? So this is such a venomous act, which means
It's
hurt
not
the
even
Hindu where
consultation.
it hurts the most.
It's not even consultation. You have to show basic respect and dignity to that temple, which is not ordinary. I repeat, it's not an ordinary temple. It's 300 years old temple where generations have gone, prayed, wished, their wish fulfilled or not fulfilled, but their sentiment, you did not, you didn't care for that. That means you are not a Hindu, number one. If you are, then you are pretending that you are a Hindu. You're a typical dirty politician, a secular liberal politician who would go to any extent to please their electorate, who I repeat, it's not the Muslim they are appeasing. They are appeasing the jihadists, the Islamists
Yes,
who
absolutely.
continue to remain in India, who created Pakistan. And you are trying to cultivate that kind of sentiment. Again on another platform, I saw some of the leading journalists of India. They were part of that space, this Twitter space. I keep on wandering sometimes from
Yeah.
space to space to hear the other side of what's happening in the narrative. So I
Absolutely.
heard him. He was this happened the day after the Jahangir Puri happened, right? He was almost. They were all mourning.
Yeah.
Some of them, many of them were for America-based, foreign-based Islamists. I call them Islamists because they are Islamists, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
this journalist, I don't want to name him because he's a very popular journalist, and he has often challenged me on television channels, in seminars. Lalit, why are you always angry? And I don't hesitate to tell him on his face, because I am angry. Because I am angry. So he says, and he used a very obnoxious term about Nepalese citizens living in India. I can't even repeat it. I mentioned it, I have not repeated it. So, but he was trying to appease the hurts, the sentiments, the people whose sentiments were supposedly hurt by Jahangir Puri demolition. And I saw she was having a conversation with one of the girls there. She's then I checked her this timeline. The very day she had tweeted that mosque today only, Indian bulldozers demolish a mosque in Delhi. How long are we going to live with Babri Masjid demolition every day? And this man, this so-called, is a very senior journalist. He was conversing with her, consoling her, showing compassion towards her. But where is my narrative? My people are sitting in the space discussing with each other. See, law must take its own course. Law is doing this, law is doing that. When Brinda Karat goes and stands in front of the bulldozer, right? Where are those so-called, we have lot many lawyers in our community, in here among Hindus, right? Star lawyers, yeah. Where are they when they talked about the 300-year-old temple demolished? Where are they? And also about the Karnataka story that one or two girls, they refused to sit in the examination without hijab. It's become a story around the world,
Yeah.
all around the world. And
Mm.
we are being, it's not being, when I repeat, it's not being India defamed, it's Hindus being demonized. And what is
Yes.
the counter
Absolutely.
narrative? Only two Muslim girls decided to skip the examination for the sake of their so-called Islamist identity. It's Islamist identity. It's not even Muslim identity. It's an Islamist identity. And we are silent about it. Karnataka government cannot say more than what they said. This is how it is. But what is the narrative? You saw it happening in Hubli also. I see. Narrative is a very important aspect. I don't want anybody to come and go violent, become violent. I'm also afraid they keep on challenging us. You know, that Razakar of Hyderabad, give us 15 minutes and we'll show you what we can do. And if only other day, the senior Razakar, it seems, has said that even 1% of us becomes radicalized, you will see what we can do. I tell them, even 0.5% of Hindus become radicalized, you will have nowhere to run away to. God forbid if Hindus, and Hindus will never be radicalized in the sense they think they are radicalized. Hindu cannot be radicalized. Sanatani cannot be radicalized, right? You can't. I mean, it's very difficult for you to visualize that you will hate somebody because he worships something else, unless you are provoked to do that. And that provocation, like Sabarmati, you roast 60 Ram Bhaktas alive, right? And then you expect people to keep quiet. But what's the narrative? 2002 Gujarat riots. Nobody talks about Sabarmati Express. No one talks about it. So God forbid, even if 0.5% of Indian population, Hindu population becomes radical, so-called the way they think they are radicalized, God forbid, they will have no place to go to. And I don't want that to happen because, as I say, there are Sanatani Muslims.
Yeah.
Whenever you talk about a Muslim, Indian Muslim, I always remember Ashfaqullah Khan. He was a nimazi, 5 time revolutionary होते हुए 5 बार नमाज पढ़ते थे दिन में. और उनका शेर फिर बोलूंगा आपके शायद अगर बोला भी हो, कोई आरजू नहीं है आरजू तो बस इतनी कि कोई खा के वतन डाल दे कफन पे. He was so wedded to the soil of this motherland. And these Islamists, they don't want to say Vande Mataram. And they relate their relationship with this country only through the Constitution of India.
Also,
If that is an arrangement, it's like a contract. It's like a nikanama. Nikanama is a contract, right? It's a contract. So they have that nikanama with India is Indian Constitution. What happened? India did not exist before 26th of January 1950. What about thousands of years of civilization? That's why they do not acknowledge that what Rama means for you. They do not acknowledge what Shiva means for you. They don't acknowledge. They don't understand. They don't want to even understand what Krishna means for you. Because this is our side. I don't know how much you have read about Hindu philosophy, Hindu religious books, so-called scripture. I have not. But I don't even if I get time someday, I might read. But I don't need to. Because Sanatani is, if you're born Sanatani, you will always remain a Sanatani. And that's it is ingrained in our psychology, so genes.
Yes. Yeah. Also, Lalitji, one more important thing happened. That is the Gaushala. The cow sheds were also demolished by the forest department. And they're saying that anyone with a house less than 530 square meters cannot rear cows. This is what Maya is commenting. This is terrible. It's like one wound after the other. The helpless cows.
It's so sad when they demolish that shed. How the cows, they were running helter skelter. Should they not have forget about the humans? Should they not have made alternative arrangement for the cows? It will not done not because they are animals, they are not whatever, just because they are in Hindus of faith in Gai Mata. They were done that. I don't know what is PETA. They come all the time. All the time they are talking about even noise pollution on Diwali being harmful to animals around, right? But where are they today? They don't come on Bakrid. I know that. They'll not talk about Bakrid. So, but why not about Gai? Why not about a cow? We believe, that's my Sanatana. I don't need to read scriptures about it. Because from childhood I have been told this is your mother and that's the animal that you feel like kissing, hugging, even if in whatever form she's dirty, she's muddy, she's ugly, but you love her. She can never be ugly. Gai Mata can never be ugly. But you feel very close to Gai Mata. The kind of, I remember from childhood, the kind of eye contact that makes the cow makes you feel there's an exchange of expression, there's an exchange of sentiment. This is why I say Hindus have to come up, and it's not just merely making speeches. It's not like taking a procession, then show victim who have been targeted. How dare anybody target the procession? It's not only targeting the procession. Remember it. They were targeting Bajrang Bali, the idea of Bajrang Bali. When they target Ram Janmastami procession, they are targeting Rama the way Rama temple was abolished, the dismantled in Ayodhya. That's the sentiment that continues to prevail.
Yeah. Lalitji, see, when they attacked, or rather, they wanted to steal all the jewelry and gold from the Padmanabha temple in Trivandrum. All those people who were doing it under the instructions of the amicus curiae, different things happened to them. One got a heart attack, one died. So many things happened, including The fact that the amicus curiae wanted he was expecting a promotion, as a Supreme Court judge, he also did not get it. So, it was like God's wrath had come,
Yes.
all of them. This is going to happen to all of the people in Gehlot's Rajasthan, for doing this sort of thing. Your heart
I
was
don't want to
beating
leave it to
when you drill,
the. I
yeah, when
don't
you
want to
drill
leave
into a
gods.
Shivalinga, which has been, sort of revered for years, which has been preyed upon, by several, pujaris, the kind of mantras that have been chanted there. And now they come and they just drill it and think that it is some trash.
That's very sad. But at the same time, I don't want to leave gods to their own mercy. We need to
No, not at
react because,
all. Not at all.
as I
It's in
said,
our hands.
dismantling, demolishing idols is part of the same genocidal war led by Pan-Islamism, led by Ghazwa-e-Hind, and we
Yes.
have to react not aggressively. We have to tell the government, where is my government?
Yes.
What are
Absolutely.
they doing about it? Where are my celebrity lawyers? If the Dushant Dave can go to the court, Prashant Bhushan can go to the court, get a stay on that Jahangirpuri demolition. Where are other lawyers? There are scores of them, much expensive lawyers than others, right? And I'm sure Hindus, if they want if they don't want to do it pro bono, there'll be Hindus, Sanatanis ready to pay for the fee. Let them come forward. If you think the constitution is the ultimate solution, please follow constitution, but somebody has to come forward.
Yes.
You and me, we can talk about it. We can. I'm not a lawyer. Even if I was, I may not have been in a position to do that. There are many who are in a position to do it. Why are they silent? Why are they silent? And it's not
So
about
here,
political party.
Lalitji,
It's not about
see,
BJP.
a person like Mohit Kamboj has been fighting and also saying that, see, he'll put loudspeakers and chant the Hanuman Chalisa. And look at what the situation he was in today. This is not the first time that he's getting attacked. His
Yes.
house was completely checked to see whether there was something wrong with the construction. So they're hounding him. All this done under the political clout of the Mahavikas Agadi.
See what they've done to this couple today.
Yes.
Navneet Rana and Ravi Rana.
Arrested,
Both are, and they will not get bailed till Monday. They'll make them like they did to Arnab Goswami. I see that happening, and I also some of the leaders from this alliance saying that look, our only community minister is in jail. He's being hounded. He's being targeted just because he's a community. The minister who had the audacity to say on television, on a public platform, हम अर्नब की ऐसी हालत कर देंगे कि वो खुदकुशी करेगा. This as a minister, and we nobody went to the court. And about this Hyderabad, that Chota Razakar, who has been let off by the court, does the court procedure end there? Does it end here? They give him a benefit of doubt. Do you close a file just because at one particular level the court has decided to give him benefit of doubt? Why shouldn't anybody else? I'm sure there must be ways for others to take it up, not all necessarily from Telangana. Somebody from outside Hyderabad can take this court to the Supreme Court. But what about this? That was poisonous. There can be nothing more dangerous than what that guy did, and that is attracting reaction from my community. I'm worried about it.
Yeah,
I'm worried about it. So we have to impress upon the authorities, the law, and the people who are in the community, who know the law, who are in a position to challenge such actions of the judiciary. Is not divine, right?
ultimate.
They can commit mistakes, and they also accept it, right? If it has been done following the procedure, go to the court, go to the higher court, challenge them. Otherwise, he's going out. He's being treated as a Nawab, the Chota Razakar who should have been behind the bars.
Yeah.
So I think this public activism is required in that sense. Non-violent. There are so many non-violent means to take action so that they do not dare target your Rama and Shiva and your Krishna and whatever instruments of and your instruments of your faith.
Also, Lalitji, before you
Thank
leave, just give us one suggestion to the government on what can be done when such things happen. Yeah, just your words of wisdom. Yeah.
I tell you, I start from Kashmir. I always say Kashmir is a challenge for India, not because it's about Kashmiri Hindus, genocide and all that. But if you do not tackle Kashmir the way you ought to, you will have these kind of things happening all across India, because there is no deterrent. Unless you declare what India has on hand in Kashmir is pan-Islamism, is inspired Kashmir Jihad, unless you announce formally that what Kashmiri Hindus suffered was genocide, It won't end. Genocide is not mere physical extermination. This what you see on the streets. I mean, you have a Muslim majority area. You're not expected to take your procession through that. What did we declare on 15th to 14th of August 1947? You get East Pakistan, West Pakistan, and wherever you are in majority in the state of India, that is also going to be your territory. And I can't raise Jai Shri Ram. Why? Why? You can say 5 times in a day that your God is the most supreme God in the world, the only God in the world. Why can't I say Jai Shri Ram? And Jai Shri Ram is not mere. It's not a war. It's not a war slogan. It's not a war cry. When I say Jai Shri Ram, anybody doing that feel the vibration within your own body.
Yeah.
So I think that's the kind of narrative has to be built. You have to start from Kashmir. Once you do these actions, the rest, Islamists in India, they will not be, I repeat, lastly, I repeat, you cannot crush Islamism. That's Islamism and political Islam. You can't crush it. This has been on for a long time until and unless there are reforms within the community. Unless their scriptures are, described or explained in a contemporary sense. And I think the process has begun in Saudi Arabia and UAE, other Gulf countries. They are rethinking over it, right? But till then, you can only contain it. For that, you have to set deterrent. This is India. This is Sanatan India. You better fall in love with the civilization of India. If not, then if it is from 26th of January 1950, your citizenship with this India through that agreement, then follow in spirit as well as respect the civilizational ethos of Hindus and live with it. We want you to be the citizens of India. We want you to be ours. As I said, there are Muslims who are Sanatani Muslim. And what something else also was coming. Yes, listen, they do not spare people who are reading the same book. Yesterday, it has been going on for a long time, Shia Sunni. Who's killing whom in Afghanistan? Muslims are killing Muslims in Afghanistan. And recently, they are annihilating Shias of Afghanistan. Yesterday, in Kunduz, is Ramzan. Muslim nation, 100% Muslim nation. In a mosque, you have a Fidainate because the worshippers are Shias, not Wahhabis. So Wahhabism is a nuisance, is a threat to the humanity. Yes, and unfortunately, in India, it's not recognized till now because there are electoral compulsions. And that's costing my nation, my civilization a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lalitji. I know that you're in a hurry. Viewers, he gives me exactly half an hour, but he's extended it to give us a little bit more information. Thank you, Lalitji, and good night.
Thanks. All the best to you. Stay safe. Stay safe, all of you. Jai Shri Ram. Bharat Mata ki Jai. And God bless. God bless. Bye.